So I'm used to reviewing phones that are between $800 all the way up to over $2,000, and here I am reviewing a phone that's $300. However, this phone has something that flagships are just now starting to get. First, let's go ahead and see what comes in the box, because yeah, we actually get things in the box, unlike those $1,000 flagships. First, say hello to the 66-watt fast charger. Yep, you get a fast charging brick right in the box. You get a case in the box. You get a sticker. Why not? You also get charging cable and earbuds. You get the whole starter package right in the box for $2.99 on Amazon. That's insane. You want to know what we got in the box with the iPhone? A cable. That's it. This phone is powered by the MediaTek Dimensity 3700X, which is kind of like your budget chip. However, when doing daily tasks like app opening speeds or binge watching Instagram reels, it's honestly not too far off from the likes of iPhone. Again, remember, this phone on Amazon is $2.99. So if that means I have to wait an extra half a second for an app to load, I'm okay with that. Battery life is also something that you shouldn't worry about, yeah, even at this price point. 5,000 milliamp hour battery pack in here. That is nuts. Definitely easy for all day use. And again, don't forget, you do get a 66-watt fast charger in the box, which will bring this up from 0 to 100% battery in 25 minutes from my testing. That's insane. Yeah, that's pretty much faster than any flagship sold here in the States, aside from, I believe, the OnePlus series, but those are expensive flagships. So yeah, this thing charges faster than the Google Pixel, the iPhone 17 Pro Max, all the Samsungs out there. Yep, this phone beats it. The display is also another thing that really, honestly, kind of impressed me. It almost seems like cheap phones or budget phones, they're progressing faster than flagship phones. 3-4 years ago, if you bought a phone in this price range, you could tell it's a budget phone by just looking at the display. The colors were a bit muted. It almost seems like there was another layer above the display. But now, not bad. You get a 6.7-inch AMOLED 120 Hz display with around 1200 nits of brightness with a pixel density of 429 pixels per inch. As technical as that sounds, what that basically means is that you won't be able to see each individual pixel on the display. It's just not possible to see. And of course, with 120 Hz, this phone is going to feel buttery smooth. I haven't experienced any lag or stuttering when scrolling. And you know what? I mean, even the fingerprint sensor, the speed of the unlock is pretty much on par with the $1,200 Pixel 10 Pro XL. Yeah, the Pixel is a little bit faster, but again, $299 versus $199. You decide. On the back of the phone, you do get a triple camera setup, and again, I can't believe I'm saying this, but the photos look great. Obviously, they're not going to beat out the iPhone, but again, the price difference, that's not bad at all. You get a 50 megapixel main camera, 8 megapixel ultra wide, and 8 megapixel optical zoom, 3x to cover all the different framing. But hey, check this out. Yeah. On the back, you do get a 1.74-inch AMOLED display, which can be used for quick notification access, doing things like changing songs that you're listening to, and of course, using it as a viewfinder for taking selfies using the better rear cameras. I mean, come on. There are phones that are nearing or over $1,000 that are just now starting to get this feature, and it's here on the Bold. The only downside I can think of is that you most likely, it's not factual, but you most likely will not get the next Android 16. So this phone does ship with Android 15, which is now latest and the greatest. However, it's not certain you'll get Android 16. However, you will get 2 years of security updates. So there's that. Honestly, I'm impressed with the Bold N4, again, especially considering the price. I think a lot of people are just so used to, phones being expensive that when they automatically think of a budget phone, they think it's kind of bad. But honestly, I would agree with you 3-4 years ago. But now, I mean, everything you can do on an iPhone, you can do on here. And by everything, I mean like what most people do. You're not going to be doing like AI or coding on this phone. And I personally don't know anyone with an iPhone that does that anyway. I know I don't. This phone is perfect for those that want a smartphone, but they just don't care about like the latest innovations. They just want a phone to check their email, scroll social media, text, call, take some photos with their friends and family. That's basically what I do on a daily basis anyway. This phone's perfect for them. And the best part is, if you drop it and you crack the screen, well, all right, well, it's $300. It's not $1,000. You know what I mean? Which, I mean, breaking any screen's not gonna feel good, but breaking $1,000 screen, that's gonna hurt. So what do you think about this phone? Let me know down below, because a lot of you guys that watch my videos, like I said, you're used to me reviewing these $1,000 flagship phones. So I'm curious to see what you think about this $299 phone. As always, this was Mark from Mark's Tech. Adios.